I had to get a drink for this. Hi, it's JJ Gat. Welcome back to my channel. So you think Pinterest is broken because recently it's not working properly. Try to upload something mobile and it's not working. You see your follower counts go down, it goes up, there's fluctuation. Your views are there one day, they're not there another day, and just a lot of stuff's going on and you're kind of like nervous. So relax, I got you. I have 3 thoughts on what I think is going on, and I have 3 thoughts on what you can do to rectify this. And before I go forward, if you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is JJ Gat. I started this channel while I reinvigorated an existing 10-year-old YouTube channel to focus on Pinterest, decoding it, offering tips, tricks, and hacks on reversing a downward trend that a lot of us who use Pinterest for business were experiencing back in 2019, 2020. And so I decided, let me hop on YouTube, and as I'm experiencing different things and I'm growing, my fellow creators, I'll be your source. I'll be your eyes and ears. I will watch the platform. I will watch the updates. I will look to see what's going on with my own account, experiment, and I'll come back and I'll share with you. So that's why you subscribe to this channel. That's why the close to 3,000 people who subscribe to this channel, I assume the majority of them have to subscribe for that reason. And I appreciate you guys for all this thing. And so it seems like it's a full circle moment because I'm back here in between when I started and now. I did deviate. I have a club called the Rising YouTuber Club in the social audio app called Clubhouse, where I curate about almost 11,000 members. And so in that community, we share what's going on as YouTubers, as fellow people. And you may be here because you're a YouTuber and you're trying to grow your YouTube channel. Succeeding in YouTube is almost as hard as getting drafted to the NFL or the NBA or Major League Basketball. But a lot of people do try to do it every single year. And those of us who have the tenacity and the fortitude and just the grit to keep going, we find spaces, we find channels like this one, if you're a YouTuber, or other creators spaces, and we commiserate, crowdsource ideas. So in Clubhouse, I had that community there. So I decided, let me take some of the things that we're talking about in Clubhouse and bring it to this channel. So you may find on this channel areas where I'm discussing YouTube's growth strategies, even though I'm not a big creator, but I'm a big believer that you should always be taking advice, in addition to the bigger creators, to someone who's a few steps ahead of you. Because even though I just have 3,000 as of the film of this video, there are some people who are just starting out. They may find that I have some value to add because I have managed to grow 3,000 people on this channel. So there you have it. Anyway, so that what gives me the credibility to tell you my thoughts into why I think that Pinterest has been having a precipitous drop and why your pins are going down. 3 reasons. 3 things that I think that you can do starting today that can turn that around. So it's like full circle moment here. All right, if you're interested in that, just stay tuned and let's get to it. I had to get a drink for this. So let's get started. And it's a layered approach. This is a story, this is an arc. So in a nutshell, the first thing I think has to do with the fact that Pinterest since 2019, 2020, and maybe prior before that, shift from a chronological feed to an algorithmic feed. If you recall, a long time ago, the school of thought was you should never just mass pin, bulk pin a bunch of pins in one sitting, because all your followers will get, inundated with all of your content and get, you might upset them and might unfollow you, which is, as you can know now, if you're on Pinterest now, that's not an issue. When you pin something, you look at the impressions number, sometimes it's getting 0 impressions, like none whatsoever. So that's not even an issue anymore. So practices of watching what you pin because everyone got it should give you a clue as to what it used to be before. When Pinterest decided to switch to algorithmic feed, and with algorithm, it's just mathematical formulas. It's if this, then that, meaning that if a certain parameters or certain factors take place, then your content goes this way. If it has this, your content goes that way. An example would be if you're using idea pins and you use in-app tools such as the transitions and the audio and perhaps the stickers from inside Pinterest idea pins, your pin may get elevated and pushed up. Now, if you have the TikTok logo or an Instagram logo or YouTube Shorts logo, they may depreciate it. So depending on how you create your content, how it's presented once it's uploaded in the platform, that determines its path and it determines its reach. So when the Pinterest switched to algorithm, a lot of creators who used to use it and use different things like do group boards, pin groupie, all the different practices that we used to do in the past stopped working 2019, 2020. So if you were on the platform before then and you're joining now and you're seeing what's going on, my pin isn't going to reach, that's why, the shift in algorithms. So I'm not quite sure if that's where you are, but that's one of the reasons. If you are seeing the shift, that's why it's going on. And so the next reason has to do with two factors. It has to do with the creators that are on Pinterest now, and it has to do with the audience that's on Pinterest now, which is different from before, different from perhaps when we used to use it earlier, even different from 6 months ago. It's constantly changing, and the shift is seismic, and the shift is continuing going in another direction from which you might be used to. And so that's why. And just specifically the creators, when Pinterest started courting creators and making the Pinterest platform be more about the people who create the content. Now, I say the people who create the content. Before, you know that when people come to Pinterest, they come for ideas, they come for tips, they come for suggestions. They just want the information, they take it down, they put it on their board, and they move on. They're not really wedded or committed to, they don't have a relationship or really care about who's creating the content. They may follow you because you're constantly going to be giving them these tips, but they're not necessarily following you, the creator. So Pinterest decided to make it more creator-centered, creator-focused. And one of the things it did when it did that was reached out to the existing creators where they live now. Where do they live? A lot of them living on Instagram. They're living on TikTok. They're living on Shorts. They didn't even think of Pinterest. A lot of you guys, if you're a Pinterest creator, never thought of Pinterest as being a platform for creators. So when they started courting those folks through things like the Pinterest Fund and the Pinterest Creator Fund, which are different things, what happened is that they brought a huge community of people who are used to creating content that is very visual, that's video first, as they know how to hook people in. It's dynamic. They use transitions. It's fabulous. So the type of people who are creating content that's doing the best are different. They're now. So now you have kind of almost like the popular girls, and you were just here with your mom friends and everyone's regular folks, and we're just the business folks and the people just getting all those links and getting all the benefits from Pinterest before. Now we have to compete with these popular girls who are coming in, and there's like, who are you guys? Like, seriously, like, who are you guys? Like, how are you guys taking all the reach? And so that's the one piece. And then the second piece that came in is the creators. Now also the audience is different. I shared in this video here that Pinterest is skewing younger to Gen Z. It's just gotten more like that. So the new generation of people who are coming to Pinterest for ideas, they have to make room. They're moving in. They're coming in droves. They are the type of audience that's used to the kind of content that these new creators are playing. So here you have it. These creators are printing out this content. The new audiences are consuming it. So what does the algorithm, which is the top, what does the algorithm do? The algorithm is adjusting itself and feeding to say, so these are the folks that are actually, their content is being pushed to the top because the new creators are feeding it to the new audience and they're reacting to it. So their content is going up. So if you don't create content in the format and the way that these new creators get, your content is going to get dragged to the bottom. The algorithm isn't necessarily preferring that content. So that's the second thing. I have to drink on that. Now, so there you go. So that's the second reason, is that if you're not creating content like the way the creators and the new audiences prefer, the new creators that are on the platform prefer, the algorithm's kind of leaving you behind.
It is what it is.
The third reason I think that you're seeing a drop in your Pinterest reach and impressions and your engagement generally is because those two factors now are impacting the third factor, which is essentially the Pinterest's business model is adjusting to this new normal. That Pinterest has three masters. The one is the e-commerce community, the folks who are in 2020, Pinterest decided to shift its business model so it's becoming more of a shopping surface, as I said here in this video, and meaning that a lot of people went to Amazon because folks were stuck at home because of being stuck at home because of what happened, the health crisis in the world, and they saw a huge reach and they said, oh, let's monetize all these eyeballs, all these new traffic that's coming to it, and they be determined to focus on e-commerce. So what's the big thing about e-commerce is now we have these creators and we have this audience. How about we make it so that people can shop on that platform? And luckily, the new Gen Z audience, they're the type of people that are willing and grew up on on the internet, grew up on e-commerce, and it's nothing to them to shop on platform. So that's prime and perfect for them. So connecting the creators and the audience, and then also the brands come into this, because if you're a brand, you can use the branded the tool. Pinterest now has where you can have video inside of your storefront. You can actually now do sponsorships. You can now connect with these creators and sponsor these creators. And now you can do ads, and the ads look just like this type of stuff these creators are doing. So you have the e-commerce and the brands that are product-based brands specifically. That's a great important nuance to note. The product-based ones that have the Shopify stores, they are now having a great time, because with the melding of these two, people are making money. Now, who's left out in all of this? And this is the third one, is the policy, because we have Pinterest is a new president, by the way. This president has given a charge. They're coming in here. They have to take what's been growing. There was a dip because of the, people were outside now. So there's a dip in the reach audience and the users of Pinterest, daily users of Pinterest, over the summer and since the pandemic has waned. However, it's still stable for the most part. So he has a charge of keeping what has been working going. And what is the factors is going to be what he has already going. Just keep that going, because that's doing well. So who's left out on this? Who's left out are the service-based creators, the coaches, the people who have digital services, digital folks. They're left out because, one, they're not used to creating content like the way the creators create content. Two, the Gen Z is maybe not necessarily their market, or they're not targeting. They're targeting high net worth individuals who are established, who are ready to commit, not folks who are just leaving college or just in college. And so their audience is not necessarily Gen Z. Also, so that's who's being left behind of all of this. And so what do you do? What do you do? How do you resolve that? So I have some thoughts. On how you do that. So let's get to it. And if you watch so far, before I get to my thoughts, I wanted to invite you to subscribe to this channel. Again, like I mentioned at the beginning, I decode the Pinterest, because so you don't have to. And if you don't subscribe, what's going to happen is you're going to be needing something, you're going to have some issue, and you're going to be looking. I remember there was a channel and there was a woman who was doing Pinterest. What's her name again? You're going to go to your subscriber list and they're not going to be there. So you don't want to have that happen. So you might as well right now take this time, and I'll wait and have a sip of wine while you go ahead and subscribe. I'm hoping to get some subscribers from this video. All right, good. And you hit that notification bell. What's going to happen is YouTube's going to let you know whenever I upload a new video. And what needs to happen when YouTube lets you know that, see my new video, you have to actually click it. And then actually I need you to watch a good chunk of it. So they keep sending you videos. You stop and you don't watch it, they're going to stop showing you my content. And then you're going to be in trouble again. So you don't want to be in that situation. So get with it. All right, so here are my 3 thoughts on what you can do. So, all right, the first thing, I'm going to go in order of the least nice option, like the worst option to the best. So in a happy note, the worst option, the least things that you can do, the 3 things you do. The first thing is you can just wait it out, because like a lot of social media platforms, when they have algorithmic shifts, and that's the thing with the algorithms, is that you don't have control. Chronological, when you post something, you have control on what you post, when people see it, because you know they're going to see it. Algorithm, you have no control. And then the other thing about algorithms, they're constantly changing, and when they change, you don't know how they're going to change. And so that's a problem with algorithmic feed. But even though it's wonky right now, there's a good chance that it's going to go on an upswing. I recently, my Pinterest went from close to 10 million to down to under 1 million monthly views, and it was like a drop. But then they reshifted something. One of my trending contents picked up, and I went back up to over 1 million. I'm at 1.3, I think, as of this video. 1.3 million monthly views of this video. So things change. So the first thing you can do in response to the algorithms, the change in the creators, and then also the policy shift and the business model shifting to more e-commerce and creator-based content, is you can just wait it out. Maybe they'll see this video. Hey, Pinterest folks.
How you doing?
You want to hire me? You want to give me access to creator rewards? I'd appreciate that, because I don't have that. I know they said they're going to favor people of under 10K. I have about 41, 42K. So I don't know, but that'd be nice. Yeah, so they'll change, they'll shift. They want to make you guys happy too. So you just wait it out. Just, that's the first option. Option 2 is you can actually pivot and change the way you create content. So here's an example. I recently told a client this. If you used to create content where you had 7 tips, for example, and you had a slide that had movable text in slide 1, slide 2, slide 3, slide 4 had other tips and things like that, you realize that got 0 impressions or 10 impressions or 20 impressions. You're like, what the heck? What you can do is, instead of that, get behind the camera. As my client here showed a few weeks ago, a couple of weeks ago, she did a post and look at the reach she got. So to say that, well, it's broken, no one's gonna reach, that's not the case. Is you can get reached, but you have to change the way what you've been doing before, and you have to get in front of the camera, and people are just relating more to actually actionable. Whatever you see this over there on Instagram or Snapchat or YouTube Shorts, or actually YouTube, that's what you got to do. Sorry. And for Gen Z, because that's a new audience on there, you can make offerings that's tailored to the traffic of people that's on there. Look at this bug. My husband looked in this fruit fly. If it flies near me one more time, I'm gonna kill it. Anyway, so you have that. You can create an offering that's tailored to Gen Z, or start creating some content tailored to the new audience if you want to, but you don't have to. So that's option 2, is actually to change your content. Just do it. Option 3, if you don't want to do it, or you still committed to Pinterest, you still know there's 40 million daily, and you want action, and you see other people crushing it, and you want a piece of that, you can hire someone to do it. And here's why I come in. I have a brand new agency where I help and I provide content. I have an army of creators, and we create content that's native to the type of the platform. So whether it's YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, we create content that's unique to the platform, and we give it to you, and it's free. And it's not free, it's copyright free. You have to pay for it, but then you have content that's native to the platform that people will probably resonate better with it, and you're more likely to get some reach and eventually get some eyeballs to your other pins and click over to your site and elevate your brand. And then all the great things happen. So you can hire someone like myself to help you create the content that you don't want to do, or you don't have the talents and abilities to do. So that's the third option you can do. And I'll put a link in my bio below where you can actually sign up, so we can start discussing these things. So there you have it. 3 reasons why Pinterest is dropping, 3 ways that you can actually reverse the drop. And if you want to learn more, if you don't want to hire me, which is fine, just subscribe to this channel, keep watching. I'll keep up with the platform, and I already have a library of content for you that you're going to watch right here next.